Hello, everyone. You're welcome to TM Handcrafts, where we impact lives. On this channel, we learn how to sew, make beautiful handcrafts, start up a fashion business, and earn money. To my returning subscribers, you're welcome. If you're just joining for the first time, please subscribe to this channel. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to subscribe to this channel. Thank you. So today we are going to be learning how to make this 360 degrees peplum for your blouse, and let's get started. So first of all, you're going to fold your material into four parts. As you can see, I'm just trying to stretch it out. Yes, so this is it. Fold your material into four parts, and in order to get your measurement, you're going to add your waist measurement plus your allowance. That is your 2 inches allowance. You add them up, then divide it by 6.28. You can use your calculator for that, 6.28, and whatever you get, you're going to mark it out just like the way I'm doing now. If what you got is 5, you're going to mark out 5 from the top of that folding. So whatever you get from your calculator, you mark it out. So that's what I'm doing exactly. And also for you to get your flay length, that is from your waistline to the end of your flay, we're going to mark that out, and I'm using 11 inches. Whatever you're going to use for your flay length, you're going to add 1 inch to it because of your sewing allowance. So I'm also marking that out just like the way I did for the initial marking. You mark that round. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking it step by step. Remember to add 1 inch to whatever length you're going to use because of your sewing allowance. So at this point, I was just trying to check if the material got to the end so that I will not have shortage at some part of my flay. So I've cut that out. So this is what I have. So this part I can just use it to create any design that I want. So I'll just keep that aside first. So we're going to cut that open. Cut your peplum open at one end. So this is what we have here. So after doing that, I'm going ahead to cut my lining. Just have to place it on your lining and cut. So after you've cut out your lining, you're also going to open up that part which you opened on the material. So you're going to cut it open. So having done that, now you're going to see how to make our peplum stand. What to put in our peplum to make it stand, just like the one in the picture. At this point, we're going to be using what is called our gum stay. I got this gum stay from the shops where they sell fashion materials and sewing materials. So this gum stay has two faces. We're going to be using the part that is shiny. You're going to place your material on that part that is shiny because that is where you're going to be pressing on. You're going to be ironing on the part that is shiny because that's the part that will gum on your material. If you use the other parts, it won't gum. So that shiny part of the gum stay is what you're going to is where you're going to place your material on and start ironing it. You endeavor to make your iron very hot so that it will get this gummy effect on your material. So this is how to make your peplum stand. This gum stay is of different types actually. There is the very soft one and there is also the hard one. So as you can see, I'm gently pressing my material, and as time goes on, you will see that the material will start sticking to the gum stay. So as you can see, it's already gumming together because of the effect of the iron on it. So I'm just making sure that my iron is not um is not staying on the gum stay, because if the iron is if the iron is touching the gum stay, it's going to affect the iron itself, which will make it to start having this gummy effect on the iron. So I just make sure that my iron is not touching the gum stay itself. So as you can see, the material has already gum together with the gum stay. This is how to make your peplum flay to stand, just like the one we saw in the picture. So I'm just trying to trim it off, trim the excess parts of the gum stay off. So this is a very easy step-by-step method of sewing your 360 degrees flay or your 360 degrees peplum, and also to make your peplum stand. This is what I always use to make my peplum stand. So I'm trimming that off already. So I also have to trim off the parts in the middle. So with this step-by-step method, it will be very easy for you to sew your 360 degrees flay peplum without any difficulty. All you need to do is to pay close attention to this video and you'll get it right on your own. So always remember to use the shiny part of your gum stay to get that gummy effect on your material. So having trimmed that off, I'm just going ahead to make sure that every part is already attached to the gum stay. Just trying to do the finishing touches. So I'm done with that. So we're going to go ahead to attach our lining. Take note of where I'm putting the lining. I'm keeping the lining right on the material, not under it, please. On the material, so you have to sew it. So what I'm doing now is to secure the lining with my material and gum stay. I'm just doing that with my office pin. I'm going to do this round just to make sure that my lining doesn't shift while I'm sewing. I always do this to avoid mistakes, and it's very good, especially for people that are learning, for beginners, and also to have a perfect work. You just need to secure using your pin. So I'm going to hold my lining together with the material right round. You should just take your time to do this. You may think that it might be time wasting, but it's not. You're not actually wasting your time. All you need is a perfect work. So I've held all that together. So we're going to go ahead now to sew. Remember, I've always told you that whenever you're sewing your lining together with your material, you should sew right on the lining. So that's actually what I'm doing now. The pins which you use in securing the material and the lining will help you to make sure the lining doesn't shift while you're sewing, because sometimes if you don't secure your if you don't pin them together, rather, you have excess on your lining after you finish sewing. So it's always good to pin before sewing. With that, you won't have excess on your lining after you're done sewing. So you just need to take your time while sewing your peplum, and you'll have a good finishing. So there you go. Yeah. And I just have a little excess. Even though I pinned, you see that I still have a little excess parts. Talk more of when you don't spin at all, you will have a whole lot of excess on your lining. So you just have to trim that off and we'll move on to the next line of action. So now what I'm going to do is to notch the area where I've sewn, just to give it a small cut, round, round about it, and make sure this small cut doesn't get to the stitch, because you if this notching gets to the stitch, you end up cutting up what you've sewn. So just ensure while you're notching, ensure it doesn't get to the part where you sew. You should do that carefully so that you won't cut open your stitches. This notching will help your peplum to be free when you turn it inside out. It will help the end point, the full length, that is the tip of your peplum, to stay very well, instead of having this bulge inside due to the stitches. So having done that, now we are going to top stitch. We are going to top stitch our peplum. While top stitching, you're going to ensure that your your material, the parts where you've sewn, the excess parts, is you're sewing right on it. That is, the excess part from your material should be under the lining. That is, you should be sewing on the excess parts of your material. That excess part should be facing the lining, and you should be sewing also on it. So what we are doing now is called top stitching. You also have to do this carefully. It will also help the tip of your peplum to relax. So at this point, we are done with our top stitching. So we just need to close up the sides of the peplum. So you're going to fold that excess part from the material, fold it towards the lining and stitch it up. So I just trim the end of that part just for flexibility of the peplum. So you're going to also do the same thing to the other part, the other end of your peplum. And basically you're done with sewing this peplum. What you have to do next is to attach it to the upper part of your blouse. So I'm doing the same thing to the other side of the peplum. We're going to fold in the material towards the lining and sew. Yes, so that's just it with our 360 degrees peplum. That's basically how to sew a 360 degrees peplum. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Like, share, and put on the notification bell. Thank you very much.